In a recent cachaça video, when I was talking about Caipirinhas, I made a bold claim that if Daiquiri was served like this, rum sales here in the UK would be astronomical. I genuinely think making a Daiquiri like this would completely transform the rum category. You see, all us rum lovers kind of expected rum to be the next big thing, the next gin here in the UK. But for me, there was always that element of doubt. I personally wanted rum to be huge. I really did. I still would. I've said it many times to try and convince myself that rum would simply explode here. For all my mates distilling rum here in the British Isles, I would flipping love rum to explode. But part of the reason it won't explode is because of people like me, us bartenders, and rum geeks. You see, all us bartenders want a Daiquiri to be served up like this, and a lot of rum aficionados actually scoff at mixing it in the first place. Now let me dissect my thinking here for a second so you can kind of understand where I'm coming from. And to do that, we have to look at gin, because in rum world, we all looked at gin and we wanted rum to become the next big thing. Now gin, here in the UK, I think, I can't remember the official figures, but I think it peaked at £2.4 billion in a 12-month period of sales. There at one point, I think it was just pre-COVID, at one point there was over 6,000 different gins available here in the UK. But this is the thing that most people missed. It wasn't that people absolutely adored gin. In fact, very few people drink gin neat. The whole point that gin exploded was because of the gin and tonic. It became that easy serve that every single person could make at home. It wasn't complicated, it wasn't technical. You just really needed three things, maybe a fourth thing. You needed your gin, your tonic, some ice, and if you really wanted to, your garnish. And part of the reason the gin and tonic exploded was because of brands like Fever Tree that started to produce and their marketing telling people how good their tonic was. So, and if you went to your local supermarket, you were inundated with at least 4 brands of different tonic, and that's just your small supermarket. Heaven forbid the bigger supermarket chains that might have had 6, 7, 8 different tonic waters. So the average person at home, they could grab their favourite gin from the local supermarket, a couple of different tonic waters, and their weekend was sorted. No shaking, no faffing around, no messing about. Pour in your gin, pour in your tonic, jobs are good. Now to bring that all round to rum, rum simply doesn't have that. Instead, rum has many different serves, but none of which have that massive cult following. In the grand scheme of things, too many people hate cola, not enough people like ginger. Hardly anyone could be faffed to shake or blend a pina colada at home. And no one really wants a teeny tiny, 2 gulps and it's gone, Daiquiri. Now, I'm not here denying that rum sales aren't growing, because they are. But I think a lot of that is actually down to bar cocktail menus, because in the wider mass market, the intrigue for rum simply isn't there. In fact, in my world, when I'm out and about, I would genuinely say that tequila and the margarita has well and truly surpassed the levels of intrigue into rum. If I turn around and tell people I'm doing a pop-up with rum cocktails, it's like, yeah, okay. But if I turn around and tell people I'm doing a margarita pop-up, their eyes just go, woo, when is it? So if that's the case, why has the interest in tequila grown? Where's that all come from? Well, the simple fact is that tequila and the margarita go hand in hand. Yes, there are other cocktails, like the Paloma, for example, but it's not the Paloma that's making noise, it's the margarita. And as I just said, rum just simply doesn't have that, because either people's 2 perceptions of the Daiquiri are either that, which they don't really want, or the red frozen slushy, aka a frozen strawberry Daiquiri. In fact, when I'm out and about, if you say a Daiquiri to people and you ask them what they're thinking, I guarantee at least 8 out of every 10 go strawberry, frozen, yeah? And of course, if you're not a sweet strawberry fan, you ain't going to be bothered in the Daiquiri. But if we want rum to be huge, how do we get rum, as a bartender, as a rum lover, how do we get rum synonymous with that one, stereotypical serve? Tequila and the margarita, gin and tonic. How do we get that with rum? Now, I know this won't become a thing, but if it was, if the Daiquiri was served up like this, Caipirinha style, I genuinely think rum would explode. If enough bars, if enough bartenders, if enough people like me on Instagram and YouTube started doing all our daiquiris like that, if rum brands started doing all their daiquiris like that, sales would simply go nuts, because that It doesn't matter which way you slice or dice it, that is flipping delicious. And I haven't met anyone that doesn't like that. Now, I would argue that you would have to actually call that a daiquiri for it to take off. But that's not its real name. This already does have a name. This is the Caipirinha's shy little sister. This is the Caipirissima. The Caipirinha is made with cachaça. The Caipirosca is made with vodka. The Caipirissima is made with rum. It's still made with rum, lime and sugar. It's just made in a very different, less pretentious way. I mean, which one would you prefer to drink? Now, to make your daiquiri Caipirinha style, you want a durable glass. If you don't have a durable glass, just use the cocktail shaker. You can do it like this, but this is easy, a nice toughened glass. We're going to chop a lime into 4 wedges, but you just need 3 of them. Get rid of that one. And then we're just going to cube them, so we've got 6 cubes of lime. Dump them straight in your glass. By the time you've made 4 of these, you'll have enough limes to make the 5th one. And chuck in 15 ml of sugar syrup. Or of course, if you want a flavoured daiquiri, that's why I flipping love all the modern syrups in the Real. Just simply swap that out. I tell you, I flipping well love a guava daiquiri. They are insanely good. Muddle that down to get all that lovely juice out the limes, put all that flavour out the zest. Whack in a 50 ml double bubble of your favourite rum. Chuck in a couple of cubes of ice. And then this is why you want a durable glass, because your cocktail tin just goes over the top, and we're just going to give it a quick shake. And dump that back in the glass. Top up with a bit more ice. And of course, as I love my Frona dried green lemons, sorry. Garnish with one of those. Now that is insanely good. I promise you that tastes so good. Does it detract from what the daiquiri actually is? Is there a huge taste difference between the two? No, of course there aren't. They're virtually identical ingredients. But I mean, if you've still got that market that think it's red, just simply swap it and swap your sugar for a light strawberry puree and you've got a strawberry daiquiri straight away. But the question I asked, does making and serving the daiquiri up like that instead of in a Nick and Nora glass, which by the way, the glasses are a lot more expensive than what like a double old-fashioned glass are, does that make it more appealing to the average person at home that wants to make a rum cocktail? Of course it does. You're not going to tell me it doesn't. It's just, it looks a bigger drink. It's fun to make. It tastes really good. I mean, what's not to love about serving up a daiquiri like that? But what do you think? I want to hear from you in the comments below. Which version of the daiquiri is going to sell more drinks in your pub or bar? Is it served up in a Nick and Nora like that? Or is it served up Caipirissima style, shall we say? I know which one I firmly believe. Prove me wrong, people. Prove me wrong.